and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire fraternity of XLRI, we extend a very warm and a very hearty welcome to all of you to today's distinguished Alumni Award ceremony. The Alumni Homecoming has always been a very sought-after event in XLRI, and this year is no different. With XLRI having come a long way since the time of its inception, the place that the Institute holds in the hearts of all those who have graduated from it continues to remain unchanged. A place that is associated with nostalgia and some very fond memories. The fact that XLRI and all that is associated with XLRI continues to act as a strong binding force for all its students remains well established. And this year's homecoming too has brought together some very distinguished alumni. Those who with their achievements and contributions made in their respective fields have set very high standards of achievements and who continue to act as inspiring role models for all of us.
Founded in 1949 by Father T. Quinn Enright in the steel city of Jamshedpur, visualized as a partner in the liberation and the developmental journey of independent India, with a vision of renewing the face of the earth. Father Tom joined hands with him, and with the help of other Jesuit companions, they undertook this mission of making XLRI what it is today. From its humble beginnings in the 2 rooms of the Hotel Boulevard to the sprawling campus that we see around us today, XLRI has carved a niche for itself, its own unique identity. And the hallmark of this identity is not to traverse the beaten path, but to strike out its own new routes. Not to benchmark, but to be benchmarked against. To be second to none, but to be the first in responding to the needs of the people and the nation by taking decisions that are bold but necessary.
As XLRI is growing, its alumni too are scaling even greater heights. While every single student of the institute goes on to achieve things that are exceptional, there are some of those alumni who, with their distinct contributions, achievements, and credentials, tend to make the institute a tad bit more proud. And to felicitate such distinguished alumni, this event came into existence in the year 2009. And over the last 6 years, some of the distinct names which have figured in the award ceremonies list include Mr. B. Muthuraman, the then Vice Chairman, Tata Steel, and National President, Confederation of Indian Industry, Mr. Jaspal Bindra, the Asia CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, Mr. Rakesh Kapoor, the CEO of Reckitt Benckiser, Mr. N. Krishna Kumar, the CEO and Managing Director, Mindtree Limited, and many more such distinguished names.
So in keeping with tradition, we request our Director, Father Abraham, Mr. Rana Sinha, Professor Sharad Sareen, our Dean of Academics, Professor Pranabesh Ray, and Dean Administration, Father George, to kindly come up on stage for the lighting of the lamps and to start the evening's proceedings. Please.
शत्रुबुद्धि विना
we at XLRI always try our best to stay connected with our alumni, it is equally important for us to be constantly aware of all the expectations that the alumni have from us and to ensure that the alumni are well aware of all that is going on the campus. The custodian of this responsibility is Mr. Ranveer Sinha, the President of the National Alumni Association, XLRI. An alumnus of the 1978 BM batch, Mr. Rana Sinha is a member of the Board of Governors of XLRI.
He is serving as the Managing Director of Tata Hitachi Construction Machinery Company Limited, Jamshedpur. He has been a past chairman of CII Jharkhand and the Eastern region, as well as a past chairman of the Indian Earth Moving and Construction Equipment Manufacturing Association. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause as we welcome on stage Mr. Rana Sinha to say a few words to us.
Thank you, Nadeem and Naira. Like the proverbial bad penny, I'm back again in front of you. Father Abraham, members of the faculty, alumni from batches senior to me, I should say respected alumni, alumni from batches after me, people, some of the people whom we ragged, alumni to be, that is the current students of XLRI, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, let me extend to you a very hearty welcome to the highlight of homecoming, which is the Distinguished Alumnus Awards 2014, a celebration of excellence. As I said earlier in the morning, earlier we were giving only 1 or 2 awards every year. And after gathering our database of the alumnus, checking out on the list of CEOs that this hallowed campus has produced, we found that we have a lot of catching up to do. Lot of catching up to honor the people who have kept the XLRI flag flying in different areas: academics, entrepreneurship, industry, a path differently trodden other than what people do just after getting out of a business school. So we have a significant number of very high achievers whom we need to recognize, because once we recognize and get them back into our fold, we are enhancing once again the brand value of this great business school. I call this the School of Leadership. It has produced hundreds of leaders who are holding key positions in industry in India today. And the Alumni Association has decided that henceforth we will try and increase the number of Distinguished Alumnus Awards so that we can cover up and do the catching up that we need to do. Professor Sareen gave you the statistics. We have more than 14,000 alumni, and we believe that at least 200 alumni to 250 alumni have held positions of CEOs or are still holding positions of CEOs or directors in or holding important academic positions in universities in India and abroad, and we need to recognize them. Organizing a homecoming and a function of this scale can only be possible if a lot of alumni pitch in. And I am sincerely thankful to the Alumni Association of Jamshedpur, the Jamshedpur chapter, for having given that support to organize this event. Of course, the Alumni Association of Jamshedpur is not sufficient to handle this. There has been unstinted support from the institute also. And a few notable names I want to mention. One is Mr. Sunil Varghese, the Brand and Sustainability Manager of XLRI. Sunil is responsible for the get-up of this backdrop, for all the designs, and also for printing the Magi's booklet. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together once again for Sunil. The alumni office, led by Padmini, ably supported by Roshan Dastur and Mr. Shahid Akhtar, have also played a key role in handling the logistics and the organization for the people's stay, their movement, the arrangements at different locations. And they have also been ably supported by the alumni committee of the students, led by Rishabh Pandey and his whole team. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand to all of them. Once again, to organize homecoming, to organize this event, we need funding. And in this regard, I have one singular person to thank profusely, which is Mr. T.V. Narendran, Managing Director, Tata Steel, and the current chairman of the governing body of XLRI. Unfortunately, Mr. Narendran is away at Bombay today, as he had a review meeting today and a review meeting again tomorrow as well as on Monday. People don't believe me, but there are slave drivers also at high places. So, Mr. Narendran conveys his regrets that he has not been able to join us in this, on this occasion. He has very kindly hosted the dinner tonight, and he has asked that all of us should enjoy the celebration of the Distinguished Alumnus Awards, and at the next event he will certainly join us. So thank you, Mr. Narendran. Once again, a big hand to him. Apart from Tata Steel, there are other companies in Jamshedpur also who have supported this event, and I must name a few of them. Dulsco, Tinplate Company of India, Tata Hitachi, Tata Robbins Fraser, TRF, Tata Cummins, Tata Power, Jamie Paul. All these companies have supported this event as gold and silver sponsors. We have other sponsors also, like Fleet Guard, Heritage Transport, etc., etc. It's a long list. But what is important is that the name XLRI and XLRI alumni also commands a lot of respect with industry in and around Jamshedpur, and people are ready to sponsor an event which the campus or the alumni are arranging. And that speaks volumes about the greatness of this institute. I won't take any longer. Let me congratulate all the award winners. It was a very long and tedious process of selecting the award winners. I happened to receive a Distinguished Alumnus Award from my engineering college 4 or 5 months ago. And the event was 50 years of my college. And we were 32 of us who were awarded on that occasion. So when I discussed with the director and the chairman of the alumni committee, we said that, we have to do some serious catching up, and we got various categories under which the awards could be given. The announcements will be made on the awards, the winners. So my congratulations once again to all the award winners. And let me enthuse and thank the alumni who have come from various places, that tomorrow you could very well be an award winner too. So please stay connected with the institute, with the alumni movement, and let us know what you are doing, your achievements, so that we can look seriously at recognizing some of you. Thank you. Let's proceed with the rest of the evening.
Thank you, sir, for sharing those words with us. We are extremely sure that the Alumni Awards and the Alumni Homecoming will go on to scale even greater heights in the coming years. As they say, once an exceller, always an exceller.
It is said that life is like dancing. If we have a big flow, many people will dance. Some will get angry when the rhythm changes, but life is changing all the time. When you dance, your purpose is not to get to a certain point on the flow. It's to enjoy each step along the way.
So in that spirit, we begin this evening's programs with a welcome dance. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Harini Shekhar.
industry today places a lot of emphasis on youth. Young leaders today are scaling heights that many years ago people thought that were much beyond them. So in that spirit, we start off today's awards presentation ceremony with the Young Achiever Awards. In order to be awarded the Young Achiever Award, a person must have served in an academic, NGO, government, or any other organization of repute after graduating from XLRI. His or her exceptional performance must be well acknowledged by the organization that he has served. And he must have already occupied a position of repute, such as the team leader, the divisional or sectional head, or even the department head. The person must be an active alumnus and must have championed the cause of the institute on all possible occasions.
To give away these awards, I would like to call upon stage our esteemed Father Director, Mr. Rana Sinha and Professor Sareen.
And now, without further ado, let me introduce to you the first recipient of this award for today, Mr. Kumar Ankit of the BM batch of 2011. We honor Mr. Ankit for his contribution in the field of social entrepreneurship, social forestry, biofuels, and rural development. His company, Greenleaf Energy, was the first to collaborate with MG Narega and link employment generation with tree plantation. In 2012-13 alone, Greenleaf Energy successfully completed plantation of 7 million saplings, leading to substantial employment for 1.4 lakh families in Bihar.
Mr. Ankit has also won the first prize in the Bihar Innovation Forum, a World Bank event. He has also featured in the television show Awaz Entrepreneur by CNBC Awaz, recognized as a youth icon of Bihar by Hindustan Dainik on International Youth Day. Mr. Ankit is a regular speaker at TEDx events organized at various institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Kumar Ankit. The next recipient in this category is Mr. Gautam Ghosh, who belonged to the PMIR batch of XLRI in the year 1999. Mr. Gautam Ghosh is a member of the HR team at Philips India. He has also worked as a freelance social business and HR consultant, helping organizations leverage social technologies for building an employer brand and employee engagement. Mr. Ghosh is frequently quoted in the press as an authority on business blogging and has addressed corporate teams and company heads on how social technologies are changing businesses. Airtel, Reliance Industries Limited, Cisco, RPG, Cognizant, Pepsi, Wipro are some of the many companies where Mr. Ghosh has been invited for seminar and talks.
An avid blogger, Mr. Ghosh's blog has been listed amongst the top 25 HR blogs worldwide by HR World and among the top 50 HR blogs to watch in the year 2009. Huffington Post has rated him 7th in the list of top most social HR experts on Twitter. Forbes has featured him as a social media thought leader, and SAP has listed him in the 51 human potential influencers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gautam Ghosh. our final recipient for this award tonight is Mr. Sanjeev Kapoor of the BM batch of 1988, the Chief Marketing Officer and Head of Customer Franchise Management in Citi, India. Mr. Kapoor drives marketing for Citi's institutional and consumer businesses in India. His focused marketing approach has helped double Citi's brand preference in India in the year 2010 to 2013. Citibank India has also won several external brand recognitions and accolades, including the top position in the prestigious Brand Equity Most Trusted Brand Award in the Foreign Bank category for 3 consecutive years.
In the year 2011, Mr. Kapoor was recognized as one of the most dynamic marketing professional of the year by Power Brands. He also features in the Paul Reuters CMO Hall of Fame and was recognized among the top 50 marketing gurus of India by IBM MITR. Mr. Kapoor, in his times, was a gold medalist in marketing in XLRI, Jamshedpur. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Alumni Awards Ceremony 2014 and welcome home. मेरा नाम कार्तिक है
And I'm Vinod Reddy.
So we are here to just do some time pass basically with you guys so that you guys have fun while you guys have a lot of fun during this event. So when Rishabh Pandey, he came up to us, he's like, there's an award ceremony and I want you guys to do some stand-up. So we were really excited and जब हमने award ceremony, stand-up ये सब सोचा तो हमारे दिमाग में कुछ अलग ही picture आया था. लेकिन आज जब सुबह कोट के बटन बंद नहीं हुए तो मुझे लगा ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. लेकिन इसके पीछे भी एक बहुत अच्छा reason है. So basically we thought that the batch of 2004 is coming back and they are in their mid-30s and they have a lot of trouble with, with the fact that they're getting old. So just because you guys feel at home, I have put on a lot of weight.
And I lost a lot of hair, I've shaved actually. So I hope now you can take us a little seriously. We are one amongst you, hopefully now you'll feel that.
So it's very inspiring when the alums come back to campus and they visit their rooms. And all these, you are really inspired when all these big people come to your rooms. And the only thing that comes to your mind is, काश ये सिर्फ रूम की वजह से हो, काश ये सिर्फ रूम की वजह से हो, इसमें टैलेंट वैलेंट कुछ ना चाहिए, बस इस रूम की वजह से मेरा भी कुछ हो गया आगे. So I remember last night Khurana sir came to my room and was really, sir हम बहुत बड़े fan हैं, तो अब आपने सर रूम की हालत देखी है, आपको मेरी भी हालत समझ में आ गई होगी. सर रेड्डी की भी हालत कुछ खास बेटर नहीं है, तो हमारी CQ बहुत कम है सर एक्चुअली और बहुत दिक्कत होने वाली है, तो हमने सोचा अब आप आए तो हम लगे हाथ बात कर ले. सर ये देखिए मेरी 2 फोटो थे, ये आगे फ्रंट में और ये रेड्डी की फोटोज है, क्लोजअप है और ये कैंडिड पोज है, तो पूरा मतलब हम टैलेंटेड भी हैं, दिखते भी अच्छे सर.
And sir, I'm ready to do any kind of movies, regional, Telugu, Tamil, जो भी आप बोलो, मतलब any kind of role, sir ready, all ready.
सर मेरी मम्मी मुझे प्यार से शत्रुघ्न भी बोलती है घर पे. तो देख लो सर, मतलब सब आपके ही हाथ में अभी तो.
Anyway, so I was just अंदर आने के पहले सुन रहा था, थोड़े alums बात कर रहे थे, people are talking amongst each other and see the difference between genders. So when they talk to each other, the boys, when they talk to each other, यार तू तो 10 साल हो गया, इतना मोटा हो गया यार, किसी के बाल चले गए, and then someone just saying you've grayed and all, और सामने से एक लड़की आती है उनके बैच की, and then they change. यार ये तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं बदली यार, ये मतलब 10 साल हो गया, ये वैसे ही है यार, ये तो एकदम मतलब same to same. So now you come to JSR, मतलब जमशेदपुर आप पहुंच गए. I want to congratulate you people that you reached in one piece.
We really thank you from the bottom of our hearts that you took 1.5 day to travel for an event which will last 1.5 days. So thank you so much for that. And anyway, let's get back to something else. Let's talk about engineers.
Engineers.
So I'm guessing there must be a lot of engineers in the house. And यहाँ पे बहुत सारे IITian भी होंगे.
Yes, and I literally hate IITians. Hate IITians. Not because they're smart, and not because they take the best jobs, and not because they're knowledgeable. I hate IITians because of their email IDs. So if it's Rishabh who has the name, it will be like rishabh.iitkharagpur@gmail.com. I mean, what the fuck?
अब आप सोच के देखिए, मेरे जैसा आदमी जिसके कॉलेज का लैंडमार्क है चौरसिया पान भंडार के बगल में काकीदा ढाबा के सामने, ऐसा आदमी कभी अपने कॉलेज का नाम डाल सकता है मेल आईडी में? आपने कभी ये ईमेल आईडी सुना है? kartik.ajaykumarengineeringhar@gmail.com. तो ये हमारे साथ बहुत बड़ी गलती होती है. खैर इंजीनियर्स हो चाहे बच्चा डीयू से हो, सबको एक भूत लगता है आगे जाके. उनको लगता है कि हम कैट का एग्जाम निकालेंगे, भले ही एमबीए करना है, भले ही आईआईपीएम से क्यों ना कर लें. अब कैट का एग्जाम मेरे हिसाब से बेवकूफ बनाता है सबको, खास तौर से डीयू के बच्चों को. तो डीयू वाले हैं क्या यहाँ पे? तो डीयू वालों का क्या होता है? उनको लगता है कि हम 3 साल बीकॉम कर लेंगे, 1 साल प्रेप करेंगे, फिर कैट देंगे. कैट तो क्लियर होता नहीं है, बात तो बट ऑब्वियस है. कैट क्लियर होगा नहीं है, बट ऑब्वियस है. फिर वो मास कॉम ज्वाइन कर लेंगे. मास कॉम ज्वाइन करने के 3 महीने बाद उनको समझ में आएगा कि एमकॉम और मास कॉम अलग होता है. 3 महीने बाद उनको समझ में आएगा एमकॉम मास कॉम होगा. फिर सोचेंगे यार किसी ने बता ही दिया होता, 2 साल वेस्ट हो गए मेरे.
और कुछ इंजीनियर्स ऐसे भी होते हैं, some they get the opportunity to go to on site. तो on site जाने के पहले उन लोग का ऐसा होता है कि यार अमेरिका से बुलावा आ गया, अमेरिका, and then 6 महीने वहाँ पे रह के आ गए. तो उसके बाद America is like this, America is like that. ये वही लोग होते हैं जो एप्पल की कंप्यूटर अमेरिका से ब्लैक में खरीद के लेके आते हैं, एप्पल के आईफोन, एप्पल के मैक, और यहाँ पे आके वो गफार मार्केट में उसको अनलॉक कराते हैं. मतलब क्रैक.
नहीं, लोग ऐसे भी होंगे 10-10 साल अमेरिका में रह के आ जाएंगे, फिर भी बोलेंगे अमेरिका की कैपिटल न्यूयॉर्क है. अमेरिका की कैपिटल वॉशिंगटन डीसी है. आपको शायद नहीं पता हो. यार क्या होता है कि इनमें से कुछ लोग एकदम से खड़े हो जाएंगे, यार आई एम प्राउड टू बी एन इंडियन. 10 साल हो गए, मुझे अपने देश के लिए कुछ करना है. अब आप इस आदमी को देखिए जो गुची के जूते पहन के फ्रेंच परफ्यूम लगा रहा है,
हुमा के सॉक्स और लिवाइस के जीन्स,
एक्स का डिओड्रेंट लगा के पिज्जा और पास्ता खा रहा है,
सैमसंग का फोन यूज करता है, वोडाफोन का सिम यूज करता है,
और ये आदमी वहां खड़े होके कह रहा है कि आई एम
प्राउड टू बी एन इंडियन.
थैंक यू सो मच एंड वी विल कीप कमिंग बैक.
We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you so much.
Everybody stand. Yeah, I'm
Good evening,
sexy
ladies
now.
and gentlemen. Thank you, Karthik and Vinod, for entertaining us. So, moving on to the next category.
When many decide to enter the corporate world, there are very few who believe in the creation of knowledge, because creation of knowledge is the key to the development of larger society. The growth of civilization is directly dependent on the evolution of knowledge. They focus their energy towards the current issues and formulating the future course of action.
So, this category recognizes academicians who have tirelessly contributed to society and have upheld the motto of XLRI, which is Margus.
Presenting the Distinguished Alumnus Award, category Academicians.
The first awardee in this category is Mr. Kannan Srinivasan from the XLRI BMD batch 1980, in recognition of his contribution as a teacher and researcher in the field of marketing and business technology.
Dr. Srinivasan has been nominated for the Leland Back Teaching Award several times. He has been a 2-time runner-up for the Little John Award. He has published one of the 10 most cited papers in marketing science and holds credit to the most cited marketing papers in management science.
He is the editor of several marketing and management journals and has published over 65 articles in leading marketing, management, and statistics journals. He is the first recipient of the Rohit Tolani Distinguished Professor of International Business Term Chair.
We congratulate Mr. Kannan Srinivasan. But Mr. Kannan Srinivasan couldn't join us today.
But still a huge round of applause.
The next awardee in this category is Mr. Girish Punj from the BMD batch of 1974, in recognition of his contribution as a teacher and a researcher. Mr. Punj is the professor of marketing in University of Connecticut and has completed his PhD from Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh.
Mr. Punj has published over 65 research papers in various marketing journals and national conferences, including the Journal of Marketing Research, Journal of Consumer Research and Marketing Sciences, among others. His research publications have received more than 4,000 overall citations. His key area of interest include e-commerce, digital marketing, online product reviews, advertising effects, and the use of artificial intelligence algorithms in modeling online consumer behavior.
He was felicitated with School of Business Graduate Teaching Award, University of Connecticut in 2013, and he's also the recipient of the IBM Watson Faculty Award 2012.
We heartily congratulate Mr. Girish Punj. However, he too could not join us today. So we now have a classical music performance by Ravi Bhargav on Carnatic flute and Priyatosh Das on the tabla. Thank you, Ravi and Priyatosh, for that soulful rendition. We're sure all the connoisseurs of music in the audience would have truly enjoyed that. Moving on to the next category.
This world would be incomplete without art. Art is a celebration of life, culture, and freedom.
So this category is for those distinguished members of the alumni who have made significant achievement in the field of communication and performing art. These individuals have broken convention and ventured into the creative world.
They combined the science of management and the performance and the art of performance to reach the pinnacle of success.
So presenting the Distinguished Alumnus Award, category Communication and Performing Arts. We request Father Director, Professor Sareen, and Mr. Rana Sinha to please come on stage and felicitate the recipients.
The first awardee in this category is Mr. Mohan Raman from the BMD batch of 1978 in recognition of his contribution as a film and television actor.
Mr. Raman has acted in over 120 movies in languages such as Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, and English, and more than 5,000 TV serial episodes. Drawing on his management education and his experience as a manager, an entrepreneur, and an actor, he uses film as an effective medium for management training. His clients include national and multinational banks, manufacturing companies, software industries, call centers, and many associations like CII, MMA, and NIPM, and also state and central public sector undertakings.
He regularly writes articles for leading newspapers and magazines and is a respected film historian. He has received several awards, including the Tamil Nadu State Government Award for Best Character Actor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome on stage Mr. Mohan Raman.
1, 2, 3, 4, get on the dance floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, get on the dance floor. Boot, shake the come on, go hard. Show it out, hit it, the party. Hit it, give me some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, get on the dance floor. Boot, shake the come on, go hard. Show it out, hit it, the party. Hit it, give me some more.
Sir, if you could please address the audience with a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, XLRI. Thank you, Father Abraham and the team. The journey began here at the small Audi juniors night when Srinath, my batchmate, TT, called me and said, let's do a small thing, entertain the seniors. Akash Kurana is here. The next time it began was again this very spot where Akash played the lead in Equus, 1976. 1977, we did Hello Dolly, where I played the lead. XLRI taught me everything, made me what I am, Father Tom, Father Prabhu, Baldev Sharma, R.K. Anand, you name all of them, Sharad Sarin. These teachers gave me the inputs, God gave me the opportunity, my parents, all the encouragement, my family, all support. I won't be what I am without my faculty, without XLRI, and without my friends. I don't want to take long. I've been given a minute. I'd like to finish before that. We South Indians have a different way of saying thank you. So I'd like to request the three of you to just remain there. You embody every single one, because I see Papa Tom there shouting and saying, throw your voice. Yes, Father. And Father Prabhu, all of them, you embody XLRI, the management of XLRI, you, the teachers, and you, my friend. So my thank you to you, South Indian style. I did check up, they're all elder to me, I can't do that. I spoke as a human being, as a student, not as a writer, management trainer, definitely not as an actor, because this is where my heart is. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, gentlemen.
1, 2, 3, 4, get on the dance floor.
The next awardee in this category is none other than Dr. Akash Khurana from the XLRI BMD batch 1977. In recognition of his contribution as an actor, writer, and director for stage and on screen for over 3 decades.
In the field of theatre, he's worked extensively with Satyadev Dubey, Naziruddin Shah. He made his first screen appearance in Shyam Benegal's Kalyug and went on to play character roles in nearly 60 plays. He has written over 20 screenplays, including Ashiki and Bazigar, the latter fetching him the Filmfare Award.
Dr. Khurana began his management career with Tata Motors and went on to become the co-founder and chairman of Nimbus Communications, a leading sports and media conglomerate. He is also the founder and CEO of Syzygy, a leadership development enterprise. He has been a mentor and guest faculty at many B schools, teaching subjects like creativity and innovation, organizational behavior, business environment, conflict management, and communication.
Please put your hands together for Dr. Akash Khurana.
आंखों ही आंखों में कर बातें गुप चुप ओए खुस खुस ओए ख्वाबों की नदी में खाए गोते गुड़ ओए बुड़ ओए आंखों ही आंखों में कर बातें गुप चुप
So if you could please address us.
This is a tough one. See, I'm sorry, but this is not the happiest moment of my life. Because and it's been happening since last night, the upheaval of memories and emotions is just really uncomfortable. But by far and clearly, it's the most incredible moment of my life. You see, because nearly 4 decades ago, this auditorium had no ceiling, the scaffolding was up on the walls, and I stepped on the stage for the first time in a play called The Miser. And the proceeds of that performance went towards the completion of what is known as the Tata Auditorium. And I'm back here again being honored for an achievement which is truly rooted in those 2 best years of my life at XLRI. It might seem that I'm not telling the truth, but I was diffident in the first month of joining. And there were some wonderful catalysts in my life who directly sort of gave me love, encouragement, and support. And it's a roster that I would like to, with your permission, list out. Father Tom, Father McGrath, who had the great privilege of meeting him before the function. Father Prabhu, Father Ozzy Mascarenhas, Professor Baldev Sharma, because of whom I did my MPhil and PhD in HR. My senior Girish Punj, who persuaded me to join XLRI, Mr. Saroj Gandhi, Mr. Rusi Modi, Mr. K. Janardhan, my mentor in the theatre in Jamshedpur, my classmates Ravi Sinha and Jayant Mayadas, and my immediate seniors, and they are here, my privilege, Madhukar Kamath and David DeCosta, and the list goes on. I was asked this morning after the session on the road less traveled, what is the secret to my diverse and checkered career, and sort of thought about it, and I can sum that up with 3 quotations. The first is from Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. If you don't know where you're going, any map will do. The second is from a Tennessee Williams play called A Streetcar Named Desire. I have always depended on the kindness of strangers. And the third, I don't recall its source, and this is for my young friends. Be very careful about what you want, because you might get it. Thank you very much.
आँखों ही आँखों में कर बातें गुपचुप ओए.
So since we are done with that category, it's time for some dance. So we invite Spick McKay, who have put together a scintillating dance performance featuring the foreign exchange students who are here with us on campus.
मेरे बिना मैं रहने लगा हूँ, तेरी हवा में रहने लगा हूँ, जाने मैं कैसे तेरा हुआ हूँ. मुझे तो लगता है मैं शायद तेरे दिल की दुआ हूँ. तुझको जो
सपने बूंद बूंद नैनों को मूंद मूंद, नैनों को मूंद मूंद, जो बरसे सपने बूंद बूंद नैनों को मूंद मूंद. कैसे मैं चलूं देख ना सकूं अनजाने रास्ते.
जैसा है कोई एक तारा घूम, जैसा है कोई एक तारा घूम, जैसा है कोई एक तारा घूम, जैसा है कोई एक तारा. धीमे बोले कोई एक तारा धीमे बोले कोई एक तारा.
Contributing to the development of India by running the government machinery is a great service to our motherland. Not many choose public service as it demands utmost focus, determination and humility, as one's actions directly affect the people of our country.
XLRI is proud of the distinguished members of the alumni who have chosen public service as their career and have made a mark at it. The category recognizes such people who have excelled in public service and have contributed to nation building.
So presenting the Distinguished Alumnus Awards, category Public Service. We request Father Director, Professor Sharad Sareen and Mr. Rana Sinha to please come on stage and felicitate the recipients. The first awardee in this category is Ms. Ministi Nair, IAS, of the PMIR batch 1988. In recognition of her contribution as a senior civil servant with 11 years of work experience in public service, handling policy formulation and implementation at both secretariat and district levels.
Ms. Nair has worked as district magistrate and collector in 4 districts of Uttar Pradesh. She was the top authority for maintaining law and order, handling elections and natural disasters, and executing development projects for multiple departments such as roads, prisons, and agriculture. She has also worked as a state project advisor and special secretary for technical education and handled World Bank-sponsored programs for vocational and technical education.
Ms. Nair was felicitated with the Hindustan Times Woman of the Year 2014 award for the exemplary work done in the field of empowerment of women beyond the call of duty. She is also the recipient of the late Rajiv Narayan Foundation Public Service Award 2013, which is given to one Indian Administrative Service officer annually for excellence in public affairs.
With a huge round of applause, join us in welcoming on stage Ms. Ministi Nair.
Thank you. When I joined the IAS, I was asked this question, even in the interview board, that from XLRI, when you could have gone into a corporate sector, why did you choose the public service? I chose it because I believe it is not only the rich and the privileged which need the talent which this great institution gives us. Probably some of us need to go and answer the need of the poor and the needy of this country too. To my young colleagues sitting here, I would like to tell you just a few instances which came across me in my public service, which probably might motivate you to use your gifts for a bigger cause. Today, we are still developing a child tracking software in the Ministry of Child and Development because in the different juvenile homes of this great country, there are n number of little children with no faces, no identities, probably registered as dead and lost in their home districts, but lost within the juvenile homes spread throughout this country because nobody until now started developing a software for a missing and recovery of children. You'll be shocked because you are exposed to a different world in which everything is so transparent. That is just one instant. Instant number 2, if you were to ask me, what is the most money-making trade in the world after drugs and after arms? It is the trafficking of women and children. If the best and the brightest of this country do not listen to the voice of the voiceless, who else would? So some of you, I request, please consider public service as a career option. Thank you.
The next awardee in this category is Mr. Ankur Gupta, IAS, of the BMD batch 1988, in recognition of his contribution as civil servant in Haryana, playing a significant role in the development of state.
Mr. Gupta joined the Indian Administrative Services in 1990 and supervised several departments in Haryana, including rural development, Haryana Agro Industries, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Health Department, and Power Transmission in State Headquarters, Chandigarh.
Mr. Gupta has successfully undertaken responsibility as Subdivisional Magistrate, Additional Deputy Commissioner, District Magistrate, Commissioner Corporation, Administrator of Haryana Urban Development Authority in various districts of Haryana.
We heartily congratulate Mr. Ankar Gupta, IAS. However, he couldn't join us today. The next awardee in this category is Mr. Vikram Misri, IFS, of the BMD batch 1986. In recognition of his contribution as India's official representative in various missions abroad, including Europe, Africa, Asia, and North America. As an IFS officer from the 1989 batch, Mr. Vikram Misri has served in various capacities at the headquarters of the Ministry of External Affairs and in the Prime Minister's office.
Important diplomatic roles that Mr. Vikram Misri has successfully undertaken are Private Secretary to the then Prime Minister of India, I.K. Gujral, Director of Office of the External Affairs Minister of India under Pranab Mukherjee, Private Secretary to the then Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Private Secretary to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Currently, he is the Indian Ambassador to Spain.
Please congratulate with a huge round of applause for Mr. Vikram Misri. However, he too could not join us today.
Show it. Ooh, I'm sexy and I know it. Yeah, I'm sexy and I know it.
So we realized you guys might be getting bored, so we decided to come back. And we are just saying this is actually very much planned. So the alums, like when they keep coming back to campus, so it's like homecoming is the only time when we get to meet so many alums. तो इस समय जब alums campus पे आते हैं तो committees का क्या हाल होता है? So committees वाले इतने परेशान हो जाते हैं ना कि अब मैं किस alum के पास जाऊँ, किससे मैं sponsorship मांगूँ, किससे मैं speaker की demand करूँ, किससे मैं क्या-क्या बात करूँ. तो आप एक alum की situation imagine करिए, जिसको 4 committee वाले घेर के खड़े हैं. अब वो एक-एक बात बोलेंगे. So I did a role in HR. Sir HR, सर हमारे कैंपस की एक HR कमेटी है जो बहुत ही अच्छा काम कर रही है, कॉन्फ्रेंस करने वाली है. ठीक है. अगला वर्ड है कहीं मैनेजमेंट. सर मैनेजमेंट फेस्ट होने वाला है कॉलेज का, आप स्पॉन्सर करिए सर. उसके बाद ऐसे करते करते एलम्स बेचारे बहुत परेशान हो जाते हैं, हम कहाँ किससे बात करें. खैर MBA एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि हर कोई यहाँ आके अपने शौक पूरे करना चाहता है. तो MBA में आके कई लोग फोटोग्राफी में लग जाते हैं. तो फोटोग्राफी का क्या सीन है ना, तो फोटोग्राफी का क्या सीन है कि जिसके कैमरे में जितने ज़्यादा लेंस होंगे वो उतना अच्छा फोटोग्राफर बन जाता है. तो अब अगर कोई आदमी डिजिटल कैमरा लेके खड़ा है तो लोग बोलेंगे क्या फोटोग्राफर है, ये डब्बू है एक नंबर का. भाई उसने अपने कैमरे में 6 लेंस जोड़ लिए, भाई वो डब्बू रत्नानी है. थोड़ा इंटेलिजेंट जोक था. यार लोगों को कई बार शौक होता है कि फॉरेन लैंग्वेज सीखेंगे, मैं जर्मन सीखूंगा, मैं स्पेनिश सीखूंगा. और ये वही लोग होंगे जिनको हिंदी भी अच्छे से नहीं आती. 25-25 साल के हो गए लेकिन 89-89 का फर्क आज तक नहीं पता होगा. इंग्लिश बोलने भी जाएंगे तो भी यही होगा, यू नो व्हाट, पता है कल रात को क्या हुआ. आज तक इंग्लिश नहीं बोल पाए, हिंदी नहीं बोल पाए, लेकिन करेंगे. ऐसे लोगों को पूछो फेवरेट सिंगर कौन है?
Eminem.
फेवरेट गाना?
Lose yourself.
गा के बताओ.
वो तो नहीं आता.
अच्छा सिंगर कहना क्या चाह रहा है गाने में?
याद करके बताऊंगा.
ये वही लोग हैं जो सबके सामने बैठ के पिंक फ्लॉयड सुनेंगे, फिर रात को रूम में जाके चुपचाप साजन के गाने लगा के सो जाएंगे.
साजन तो सुन लिया. Now let us think about now what are the most weighty issues for a B school student. So what is the most important issue? It's not placement, and it's not about the light which is missing from the toilet. It is food. Food. सबसे important issue is आज मेन्यू में आलू परवल है या परवल आलू है. Important issue आज जो गट्टी की सब्जी बनने वाली है, is that red curry or is that green curry? They have a voting poll on Facebook and there's literal. You have a voting poll on Facebook for gatti ki sabji. Then there is a 7:45 p.m. class. People will miss the 7:45 p.m. class just to get the chicken leg pieces because after 9:15 you get only neck pieces. And of course, our students may or may not do financial statement analysis, but I have got an aloo analysis. Aloo analysis of how much aloo is there in the menu and how much aloo is not there in the menu.
हर कोई चाहे मतलब पढ़ना आता हो ना आता हो, इकोनॉमिक्स और इकोनॉमिक टाइम का सब्सक्रिप्शन जरूर ले लेता है। रोज सुबह सेम अंकल आके डिलीवर करके जाते हैं और वो सबका काम आता है जब मैक्सी बाजार में जूनियर्स पे फेंकने होते हैं। उन सारे कागजों का सिर्फ एक ही काम होता है। खैर आगे बढ़ते हैं। तो एमबीए आपको सिखा देता है, मतलब एमबीए ऑलवेज ऑब्वियसली मेक्स यू स्मार्ट, और हम सब इस बात से एग्री करेंगे। तो अब हम आपको बताएंगे कैसे ऑफिस में रह के भी काम नहीं करना,
which actually happens.
तो इसके कुछ स्टैंडर्ड तरीके हैं। ये मेरी फोटो है सर, तो सबसे पहली चीज है कि आप कुछ भी लिख दो, आपका हेडिंग अच्छा होना चाहिए। टेक्स्ट क्या हो किसी को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, उसका हेडिंग इंटरेस्टिंग होना चाहिए बस। टेक्स्ट आजकल वैसे ही कौन देख रहा है। और आप टैब शिफ्ट करते रहो जल्दी जल्दी, तो लोगों को लगेगा बहुत ज्यादा काम करना पड़ रहा है।
Next, your desk. How should your desk look like? Like this. You should feel like people are working and you don't have time to clean your desk at all. All your paperwork, everything, जो मैनेजर ने दिया, जो सबऑर्डिनेट दिया, सबका पेपरवर्क वहीं पे होना चाहिए, including some 3-4 books of management also. तो दिखना चाहिए वहाँ पे।
उसके बाद आता है कि कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन को अच्छे से देखना, मतलब उससे तो नजर हटानी नहीं है। किसी भी आदमी को एटलीस्ट 3 बार तो इग्नोर करना ही है, भले ही वो चाहे कुछ भी करना है, उसे 3 बार इग्नोर करो ताकि उसे लगे कि हाँ आप बिजी हैं कम से कम यहाँ पे।
And then your best friend in the office, coffee machine. You should at least go to the coffee machine once in half an hour. Once in half an hour, coffee machine is a must. People should feel that you need so much coffee because you have a lot of work. So your best friend in the office.
सबसे ज्यादा बुरा मुझे लगता है उन एमबीएस के लिए जो फाइनली कंसल्टेंट बन जाते हैं। मतलब मेरे 1-2 दोस्त हैं जो कंसल्ट में गए और उनको कैसी कैसी बातें सुननी पड़ती है अपने लोगों से।
I mean, यही दोस्त ने बताया he got a call from a friend and he actually felt like a hooker because they asked, what is your rate, man? How much do you take? How much for a week? How much for a day? And if I use only for one time, oh, what's your rate, man?
जाते जाते वो कई बार ये भी पूछ लेता है आपको सर हैप्पी एंडिंग चाहिए, क्या चाहिए बताइए आप। आगे बढ़ते हैं। तो सबसे ज्यादा भूत लोगों को चढ़ता है बी स्कूल में आने के बाद कि हम जाके एक स्टार्टअप खोल लेंगे। अब 2 दोस्त होंगे, एक सीईओ बन जाएगा, दूसरा एमडी बन जाएगा। अब उसको पूछो भाई तू सीईओ बन गया, तू एग्जीक्यूट क्या कर रहा है यहाँ पे?
तू एमडी बन गया, तू मैनेज कैसे करेगा?
और कुछ लोग होंगे और बड़े स्टड, वो सीईओ एमडी फाउंडर तीनों के तीनों एक साथ बन जाते हैं। पता नहीं बिजनेस का जा रहा है लेकिन पोस्ट सारी होनी चाहिए अपने पास। उसके बाद आता है कि मेन इंपॉर्टेंट आता है कि जो लोगों को लग जाता है ऑफिस में जाने के बाद 5-6 साल बाद कि यार मैंने बहुत अच्छी इंग्लिश सीख गया हूँ, अब मुझे या तो एक किताब लिख देनी चाहिए या फिर मेरे को मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर बन जाना चाहिए। तो अब एक नॉर्मल एमबीए ग्रेजुएट का करियर ट्रैजेक्टरी कुछ ऐसे जा रहा है, 9 to 9, कॉर्पोरेट स्पीकर, एंड फाइनली बुक पे खत्म कर देते हैं आगे सब लोग। फाइनली जो लास्ट चीज हम आपसे बात करना चाहेंगे कि ऑफिस में बातचीत कैसे हो रही है आजकल। नॉर्मल भाषा में तो अब कोई बातचीत करता नहीं क्योंकि सब बहुत पढ़ लिख चुके हैं।
We are MBAs actually, so we need to speak sophisticated work. So
हम आपको कुछ एग्जांपल दिखाना चाहेंगे। अगर स्लाइड चेंज हो जाए तो।
anyways, so I hope there's some problem with the this thing. So the most abused word in this is leveraging synergy. आप कहीं भी लगा दो leveraging synergy, कहीं भी लगा दो leveraging synergy, it will put you 3 ranks higher in your boss's mind. So I think that's not working. It's time for us to move out and say.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karthik and Vinod. Moving on to the next category.
Entrepreneurship. It's a life, am I audible? Yeah. It's a life where you set your own rules, your own schedules, you get to be your own boss. A life where you live your passion day in and day out. This is a path many dream to take, but very few dare to.
XLRI has always harbored this culture of entrepreneurship, with many daring to take the leap, challenging convention, and leaving behind a legacy. XLRI is proud to recognize the distinguished members of the alumni who have taken the leap and are now successful entrepreneurs.
So presenting the Distinguished Alumnus Awards, category Entrepreneurs. We request Father Director, Professor Sareen, and Mr. Rana Sinha to please come on stage and felicitate the recipients. The first awardee in this category is Mrs. Ashraf Patel of the PMIR batch 1990. in recognition of her contribution towards leadership development and youth empowerment. With the passionate belief of empowering young people to envision a future and act in the present, Mrs. Ashraf Patel co-founded Prava and Commutiny, the Youth Collective. These organizations, under her watchful guidance, are currently working towards setting up a youth leadership fund to generate resources to support youth leaders.
She has co-authored a book titled The Ocean in a Drop, published by Sage Publication, and has designed learning resources in areas such as life skills, self-awareness, youth development, social entrepreneurship, and volunteering. Ms. Ashraf Patel is an Ashoka Fellow and a member of National Committee IYB 10 of United Nations Volunteers and Youth Ministry in 2011.
Please join us in welcoming Ms. Ashraf Patel.
Kindly share a few words with us, ma'am.
So thank you so much, everybody here at Excel. In the morning, we had this panel, The Road Less Taken, and there were a few people on that panel, and I'm hoping that as we go ahead over many years, we have many, many more people taking the road less traveled, no matter where they are. We can take the road less traveled just where we are, in the corporate sector, in the not-for-profit, wherever. So here's just celebrating the spirit of the road less traveled, and more people doing what they dream of in service to society. I do want to take a few minutes to thank a very special person and all the professors at XLRI. We at Prava work on psychosocial change, what is popularly known as mindset change. It is not what most NGOs chose to work on in the times when we started. And the seed of that work was sown at XLRI. Some of the courses I studied here, two very beautiful courses, Assertiveness and Transaction Analysis, really brought home to me this whole idea of working with the self, the idea of understanding identity and identity conflict and conflict resolution. Father Prabhu was the professor at that time. The other course that I really learned a lot from, and I do want to share because I think it must be deepened and continues to be so here in XLRI, is the Community Development Program. It was the one program that brought us close to communities, different from ourselves, helped us learn about marginalized communities, and made us feel and really learn the need to connect. So really very, very special thanks to all the professors, especially Father Prabhu, for bringing home this big learning. The other thing I want to share is learning not only about life and human development in Excel, but also learning about love and the power of love that we can give to people and what it does to us. At this moment, a very special person who is actually an equally deserving of this award, along with all my team members at Prava and the Youth Collective, all our partners, and the 400,000 young people that we have walked with on this journey over the last maybe 20 years. I want to thank especially the love of my life, who is an XLRI alumni, equally deserves the award, is a co-founder of Prava and co-founder of the Youth Collective. He's Arjun Shekhar, sitting right there. I just want you to take a bow. Thank you so much.
The next awardee in this category is Ms. Gargi Banerjee of the PMIR batch of 1988, in recognition of her contribution as researcher, development worker, and consultant. Ms. Gargi is the co-founder of Pragya, an NGO that undertakes development projects to benefit marginalized and impoverished communities in Asia and Africa.
As the director of Pragya, Ms. Banerjee has shaped the organization into one of great repute, with a diversified portfolio and numerous innovations under its belt, expanding Pragya from a 5-member team to a multi-program organization spanning 5 countries, benefiting more than 350,000 people.
She has worked in areas of cultivation of medicinal plants, for which she was conferred the Whitley Award for Conservation, touted as a Green Oscar in 2000 by Whitley Fund for Nature and Royal Geographical Society. She has also been recognized as by the MSDS Award for Social Entrepreneurs and by the National HRD Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Ms. Gargi Banerjee.
Thank you very much. I must say I'm deeply honored and I'm deeply grateful to XLRI for having shaped me into what I am and also having enabled me to do whatever I have been able to. It has given me the sensibilities to understand the needs of those disadvantaged. It has given me, I would say, an attitude of constructive empathy, which is motivated me, energized me to do something about those needs. And it has also given me the competencies to actually be able to adequately address those needs. Even above that, XLRI and XLers in all parts of the world have helped me along on this journey, which has not been easy. It is immensely satisfying, but not all that easy to walk this path less traveled. And I think XLRI has always been along with me on this journey. I would also like to, like Ashraf before me, I would also like to actually thank XLRI for giving me my partner in life and partner in this journey, another XLR of 87 batch, Sunil Pillai, who's also sitting there. My journey and the journey of Pragya, which tries to address the needs of the most disadvantaged people in the tribal, border, hilly forested districts of India and in other parts of the world, would not have been possible without the key inputs and motivation provided by this institution. Thank you once again.
The next awardee in this category is Mr. Vivek Das of the XLRI batch 1973, in recognition of his contribution as an industrial and advertising photographer. He has worked with major industries in India, including hotels, cars, jewelry, and pharmaceuticals. He was a senior staff photographer with the Anand Bazar Group from 1985 to 2010, and the East Zone Chairman of Advertising and Industrial Photographers Association of India from 1991 to 2001.
He's also the Honorary Life Member of Photography Association of Bengal and the recipient of Hall of Fame Award from the Advertising Club of Calcutta for his outstanding contribution to advertising in India.
So please put your hands together for Mr. Vivek Das. So if you could please share a few words.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Words cannot express my joy receiving this award. I could never dream this day would come 33 years ago when I was enrolled in the PGDBM course in 1971. Having majored in marketing, I joined the Gramophone Company of India, owners of the HMV and EMI brands in 1973 in the sales and marketing department. By next year, I started dabbling in freelance photography, and which I really enjoyed. By end 79, I decided to quit my job and do full-time industrial and advertising photography. Initially, I thought being a creative photographer was enough, but soon realized it wasn't. Market analysis and segmentation, marketing my photography skills, planning equipment investments, preparing contracts and model releases, raising estimates and invoices and accounting were very important. I can now honestly and proudly admit that the management skills that I acquired during my 2 years here and 6 years at Gramophone Company has helped me run my photography business efficiently for the past 4 decades. Philip Kotler used to be our marketing Bible, but today that is not enough. Mastery of Facebook, Twitter, and the cloud are now important tools for marketing in cyberspace. I wonder if XLRI have added these areas in their marketing courses. Finally, all that I have achieved would not have been possible without the unflinching support from my dear wife Gargi, who is here with us, who for the past 40 years believed in my dream of becoming one of the country's top photographers, took care of bringing up 2 kids single-handed, while I pursued my hobby of photography, which happily for me is also my career. Thank you very much.
The next awardee in this category is Mr. Ronald DeCosta of BMD Batch 1970 for his tireless contribution towards community development. Mr. Ronald DeCosta is the owner of Boulevard Hotel, Jamshedpur. Incidentally, Boulevard Hotel was founded in the same year as that of XLRI. He has been in the forefront of creating awareness on water conservation and implementing rainwater harvesting in Jamshedpur and nearby areas.
Mr. Ronald has also been conducting training seminars in the villages in and around Jamshedpur to develop skills in the cultivation of exotic vegetables, developing 3 model farms in the process. His NGO Anurag Foundation cares for the thalassemic patients. He is also the chairman of Jeevan, a helpline center for the stressed and depressed, and works tirelessly towards improving the lives of people around him.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, we welcome on stage Mr. Ronald DeCosta.
Request sir to please give a few words.
Father Tom always said, if you got to speak for a minute, prepare. That's what I've done. Serendipity has always played an important role in my life. By March 1968, fresh out of college, I was getting ready to join Rutger College in the US. It was then, again by serendipity, that Father Tom met my father, John DeCosta, and proclaimed that his son, Ronnie, must apply for admission at XLRI Jamshedpur. So I came. The train of thought changes, and that son, Ronnie, applies for admission at XLRI and joins the Business Management Day program on the promise of a dream. A promise that the Institute will get recognition outside Jamshedpur. A promise that Excel will make a difference in your life. Today, I continue to plod along on that same promise of a dream and on the contentment of being useful to our community. of providing added value to the consumer as an entrepreneur and added value to society as a social entrepreneur. Looking at the luminaries among the awardees, I am humbled. I'm humbled to be chosen to be one of you all. Thank you, XLRI, for saving me from the US and from Rutgers. Thank you, my family, for the freedom you gave me. And thank you to so many friends who, like me, believe that we can make our dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Father Director, Professor Sareen, and Mr. Rana Sinha. Moving on, we now have a performance. So we now would like to call upon stage the supremely talented Chandrasekhar and Kishore of the current GMP batch for a musical performance.
क्यों आजकल नींद कम ख्वाब ज्यादा है, लगता खुदा का कोई नेक इरादा है। कल था फकीर आज शहजादा है, लगता खुदा का कोई नेक इरादा है। क्या मुझे प्यार है या ऐसा खुमार है, या क्या मुझे प्यार है या ऐसा खुमार है, या पत्थर के इन रस्तों पे फूलों की एक चादर है। जब से मिले हो हमको बदला हर एक मंजर है। देखो जहाँ में नीले नीले आसमां तले रंग नए नए हैं जैसे घुलते हुए। सोए से ख्वाब मेरे जागे तेरे वास्ते, तेरे ख्यालों से है भीगे मेरे रास्ते। क्या मुझे प्यार है या ऐसा खुमार है, या क्या मुझे प्यार है या ऐसा खुमार है, या चले आते हो हर रोज इन ख्वाबों में, चुपके से आ भी जाओ एक दिन मेरी बाहों में। तेरे ही सपने अंधेरों में उजालों में, कोई नशा है तेरे आंखों के प्यालों में। तू मेरे ख्वाबों में सवालों में जवाबों में, हर दिन चुरा के तुम्हें लाता हूँ ख्यालों में। क्या मुझे प्यार है या ऐसा खुमार है, या क्या मुझे प्यार है या ऐसा खुमार है, या
Thank you. We would like to thank Chandrasekhar and Kishore for their spirited performance. Moving on to the next category of awards. It is said that knowledge not applied is knowledge wasted. And if you are looking for successful application of knowledge, you need to look no further than the awardees in this category. With the 2 years of education imparted to them at XLRI, they have made distinguished contributions to the industry over decades. They have not only taken forward the mission of the organizations that they have been working for, but also championed the Institute's cause on all possible occasions. This category recognizes individuals who have succeeded in applying and carrying forward the concepts of management in the industry. Presenting the Distinguished Alumnus Award, Practicing Manager. We request Father Director, Professor Serene, and Mr. Sinha to come on the stage and felicitate the recipients of this award. The first recipient of this award is Mr. Ajay Kaul from the BMD batch of 1989 in recognition of his contribution as an outstanding Chief Executive Officer. He has also successfully undertaken responsibilities in sales, marketing, and customer service functions. Mr. Ajay Kaul is the Chief Executive Officer of Jubilant FoodWorks Limited, and the company has become one of India's largest food service firms under his leadership. Mr. Kaul, in his 25 years of experience in the corporate world, has won several awards. He was listed amongst the top 100 CEOs in India by the Business Today, January 2014 issue. He was also recognized as the outstanding CEO by CEO India in 2014. He has also played a key role in the success of several organizations and made impactful contributions to the stakeholders and the society at large. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Ajay Kaul on the stage. Sir, we request you to share a few words with the audience, please.
You know, unfortunately, my wife is not here today, and she often says that this guy is not a man of few words. You know, I heard Ronnie saying that Father Tom taught him that whenever you come for an occasion like this, you should be prepared. Unfortunately, I never had the privilege of being taught by Father Tom, so I actually have come unprepared. But firstly, I want to thank the jury, you know, and our respected, you know, father here as well as Professor Serene, that amidst, as Mr. Ranasena was saying, you know, some time back, that there are some really illustrious, you know, cases of how excellers have done in the business world. They were spoiled for choice, and I'm honestly privileged, honored, and with all humility I accept this award because they had better options, I'm sure, you know, who could have been awarded this award. I will take a moment today to say a few things, especially to our young generation who's sitting here, because I think it's very, very relevant to them, although I'm looking back 25 years. I came out of an engineering college, you know, where I had almost wasted my time, IIT Delhi. And when I walked into Excel, I told myself that, hey, listen, no more bridge, no more singing and dancing. This is a place where you got to study. And I also made that announcement to my friends because I thought the best way of kind of telling the environment around you is to build pressure on yourself is just announce it. But it took me 15 days at best, probably a month, to realize that Excel actually had that much more layers to it than pure studies. The good news in Excel was that with that attendance, you know, minimum attendance and all that thrown at it, it would force you into a classroom situation so you couldn't run away. So sublimate, or otherwise you would be kind of getting to know what the prof was saying and whatever the lecturers were saying. But it was all that other things which I realized make you what an exceller is today. I often hear it from my friends from the IIMs and elsewhere, where even the same batchmates probably didn't know each other, whereas because they were in a different dorm, and the A didn't know that B also existed, and so on. And here was one campus which on the human axis, on axis of introspection, on axis of trying to, know everybody and kind of discuss it out, thrash it out, even fight it out, gave you the best opportunities which none of these other so-called good campuses also offered you. So I would say IIT Delhi had its own role to play, but what I am today is predominantly because of what I learned at Excel. And my message to the youngsters out there is, I'm your ray of hope. Trust me, I was just about a 6-pointer. Whatever. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but I was middle of the road. I would, unless standards have changed, sir, over the years, I was kind of somewhere in the middle. But more importantly, there is that much more to do on campus. There is that much more. And, mera number bhi aayega is something which applies to everybody as much as it is applied to me. And I would go back to what Dr. Khurana said, that sometimes when you are trying to ask for something, be sure what you're asking for, because it may just happen, and that's probably a live case standing in front of you. So people have a bright future sitting here. Just try to enjoy, have a good time, and learn as much as you learn other things in life, and hopefully you'll also succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next recipient is Mr. Sandeep Bakshi of the BMD batch of 1983 in recognition of his contribution to the financial services sector. He has 28 years of experience with the ICICI Group. From 1986 to 2001, he worked at the Delhi office in the project financing department of ICICI Limited, which was a development financial institution then. From January 2002 to April 2009, he worked with ICICI Lombard General Insurance and was with ICICI Bank from May 2009 to July 2010. Since August 2010, he has been working with ICICI Prudential Life Insurance Company Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming on stage Mr. Sandeep Bakshi. So we request you to share a few words.
I'm truly grateful to XLRI for shaping me and giving me this recognition. Truly humbled. I have to also thank my organization, which over the years has had a lot more confidence and belief in me than probably what I have personally had in myself. But at moments like this, I think who I'm missing most and remembering most is my late father. Because, of course, parents shape you a lot, but there was one evening when I was with him. My father was from the services, and I was working in Delhi, and I used to travel to Meerut, Defense Colony, where he had his house. And normally, we would have a drink together on the lawns. So I was talking to him and I asked him, Dad, how do you define a good general? So I was expecting a reply talking about valor and talking about strategies of the armed forces. But he said a few things which actually shaped my life. So he said the first thing is that a general is a general because he serves the Indian Army. The importance of the organization. So one realizes that it's the organization which gives you a lot of recognition. The second thing which he said was that a general is certainly a good guy. He's got great talent. But a general must remember that many of his colleagues who were with him in the National Defense Academy and the Indian Military Academy were as good or maybe better, but haven't become generals. So please count your blessings all the time. And thirdly, what he said was very profound. A general must realize that he was a captain yesterday and should know that he would be a nobody tomorrow. I think these words have helped me a lot in my life, and I'm really missing him today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. The next recipient of this award is Mr. S.V. Nathan from the PMIR batch of 1983 in recognition of his contribution in building and leading high-performance teams, developing leaders across levels, and serving as a trusted business advisor. Mr. Nathan has 30 years of experience in human resource management across diverse industries, including manufacturing, services, telecom, and information technology. A respected voice of the HR profession in India, Mr. Nathan is regularly invited to speak at several national and global forums on contemporary human resource matters. He is a behavioral specialist in sensitivity training and is acknowledged for coaching and mentoring several leaders. Mr. Nathan has been conferred with many awards and honors as well. He serves on the board of National Human Resource Development Network as its National Secretary. He is also the chairperson of the Indian Society for Learning and Development, Hyderabad chapter, and serves on their National Council. He was the former chairman of the Global In-House Center, Hyderabad chapter of the National Association of Software and Services Companies. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. S.V. Nathan. Share a few words with the audience.
Father Tom did not teach me, but I learned a few things because as the speakers were going up, they talked, and I decided that I'll do the next best thing, which is to type out something and see what I should be saying today. First, I want to thank my producers. I want to thank my producers, my father and my mother. I want to thank my one-legged grandma. She really told me that you don't have to live in a chawl. You don't have to use a sidewalk for your dining table, and you can achieve what you wish if all that you want to do in your life is to study and study very hard, which is what I did. I want to thank XLRI. XLRI gave me wings. The teachers were the feathers in my wings. I want to thank my bunch of friends out there, those rogues, special friends, very special. I want to thank Raja, who's been there right through. I want to thank Murali. Murali has been a peer coach for many years, wonderful chap. I want to thank Dr. N.S. Rajan. Sorry, Bapatla, because that's what we call him. We call him Bapatla. What a wonderful man. They gave me the medium to fly. I want to thank my wife, Chitra. Chitra, because she was a compass in my life for many years. I want to also thank my children, Vivek and Vignesh, because they do something very special. They teach me new ways to glide. And that's a wonderful thing. I want to thank my organization. I wouldn't be here if it were not for the organization. And I remember what Sandeep said. I think that was very nice, Sandeep. No different from what it is. I also want to thank God. I want to thank the Lord for lifting a child from a very humble beginning to share the dais with some fantastic achievers. I'm very humbled by that significance. I have no idea why I'm here and why I'm a recipient, but I'm reminded of Father Arroyo. Father Arroyo was one of those wonderful gentlemen who taught us many, many years ago And Father Arroyo had a nice sense of humor. So there was a cartoon that he shared on the final day when we were graduating, and this is a cartoon of Snoopy. And Snoopy had one of those capes which you have on graduation day, and was having a degree in his hand, and that little puppy was running. And the caption was, "Yours is not to question why, yours to take and run." So thank you, Father Arroyo. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next awardee is Dr. N.S. Rajan of the BMD batch of 1983 in recognition of his contribution to the industry in the human resources sector, teaching and consulting. He is the former national president of the National HRD Network. So we request you to share a few words with the audience.
And I remember the days when I used to board the train to XLRI from a fairly undistinguished place called Bapatla. And all these rascals here used to actually get off the platform, stand there and keep yelling Bapatla. So imagine standing in Delhi station and talking of Delhi, Delhi. And that was the place I used to get up. It was 40,000 population. And one of the things I learned was that the only thing that really made me was education. It came from three sources, really. One was, I was fortunate to be a Jesuit student. So I went to a Jesuit school, I went to a Jesuit college, and then I came to a wonderful institution, XLRI, which also gave me some great friends from my batch of 83, who continue to be friends after 32 years. And my biggest education really came from my family, my parents and my wife and daughter. My daughter actually taught me to grow up, and she keeps reminding me all the time. And of all the things I'm really, really proud of standing here is the fact that it's nice for her to notice that my school thinks well of me. I'm really grateful. Thank you, Father.
The next recipient of this award is Mr. Johnson Alexander from the PMIR batch of 1981 in recognition of his contribution in the human resources sector. Mr. Johnson Alexander is a well-known professional in the management in human resource fraternity in the UAE. In recognition of his contribution to the HR functions in the UAE, he was presented with the HR Champion Award in 2009 by the Human Resources Forum, the premier HR association in the UAE. Currently, he is the Director of Human Resources and Quality, Health, Safety and Environment at Dulsco, Dubai, and is a member of the Executive Committee of the company. Under Mr. Alexander's stewardship, Dulsco was adjudged as one of the great places to work in the UAE in 2011, 2012, and 2013 by the Great Place to Work Institute based in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Johnson Alexander. So we request you to share a few words with the audience, please.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank XLRI and the jury for selecting me for this award. It's indeed an honor for me to receive in front of such a luminary of achievers who are present this evening. The last time I was at the Tata auditorium was to receive my convocation certificate back in 1982. I can recall two vivid incidents of Tata auditorium. One was the concert by Jagjit Singh and Chitra Singh, and the other was the dance performance by Anand Shankar and the troupe. And it's indeed very nice for me to be here to receive this award. In the life of a person, it's one of the most fulfilling moments when your academic institution recognizes you. And I'm happy to say that today is an auspicious occasion for me to receive the award. I stand before you representing over 500 strong alumni in the United Arab Emirates. And all of them have contributed to brand building of XLRI in the UAE and Dubai in particular. And I send my greetings on behalf of the alumni in the UAE. Once again, I'd like to thank XLRI for bestowing me this award, and thank you.
Our next awardee is Ms. Rekha Menon, PMIR 1981, in recognition of her contribution in developing human capital strategy, setting up business operations, and managing corporate functions for leading organizations. A gold medalist from XLRI's batch of 1981, she is the Managing Director, Human Resources for Growth Markets for Accenture, responsible for the development and execution of the human capital strategy for growth markets. She is also a member of Accenture's Global Corporate Citizenship Council. She is the former Managing Director of Geographic Operations for India, ASEAN, and APAC Delivery Centers for Accenture. For nearly 2 years, she has led the business operations for Accenture's India business. Before joining Accenture in 2004, she had been a part of the executive management teams at Talisman Corporation, Levi Strauss, AkzoNobel, and Cargill Inc. She is also on the boards of Pratham Books and Akshara Foundation, organizations that work for underprivileged children. Unfortunately, Ms. Menon couldn't be here today, but we give her our heartiest congratulations.
The next awardee in this category is Mr. Madhukar Kamath from the BMD batch of 1976 in recognition of his contribution in the advertising and marketing services sector. He has had more than 3 decades of experience in the sector and has spent close to 20 years with Mudra Group. Under his leadership, Mudra Group transformed itself from an advertising agency into one of India's leading integrated marketing communication groups. Mr. Kamath has actively participated in and led several industry bodies. He has served as the president of Advertising Agencies Association of India and the chairman of the Advertising Standards Council of India. He was also the chairman of Ad Asia 2011, India's largest marketing congress. Currently, he is on the board of Audit Bureau of Circulations and is an executive committee member of AAAI. He is also the chairman of Mudra Foundations and serves as the chairperson of the Governing Council of MITA. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, please welcome on stage Mr. Madhukar Kamath. Request you to share a few words with the audience.
Finally, मेरा number आ गया. I don't have a speech, but listening to all my colleagues, I suddenly remembered a few interesting points. So let me tell you about what I learned. And secondly, learned and applied. And secondly, why this is very, very important to me. I learned that you need to make the most of every opportunity in XLRI. First of all, I'm breaking a rule. I was given 1 minute to speak, so you need to break that rule. So I've used that in my career always. It's helped. You bend the rules, bend the rules. You've been taught to make the most of every opportunity. The last time I was standing here, there was no roof. Because we did the miser at that time, thanks to Akash Khurana. And I'm standing back here again, listening to this, with the roof up here. So it's time to use this opportunity and inflict some more words on you. What I learned from Father McGrath has stood me very well in times. He didn't teach me, but you learn by observing. I learned about humility and common sense. I learned that here by just watching him and what he did. And these are two characteristics that I've constantly quoted as being the most beneficial for me in my entire career. What I learned from Father Tom also was that surround yourself with brilliant people. After all, he built this institution not by himself, but by surrounding himself with excellent people. So I've constantly done that. I've gone out and just constantly hired better and better people than me, and they made me look good. In fact, I look good today standing here because I'm sitting amongst these luminaries. So that's why I said finally minor number bhi aa gaya, because it's good to feel recognized amongst you all. So these are the major learnings that I've had as far as XLRI is concerned. But this is important for me, this award is important for me because, I need to thank my dad for this. It's slightly emotional. He forced me. I was well on my way to becoming a commentator, keep talking. And I'd done my auditions and everything else. And then he forced me. He brought me an application form, and I said no to IIMs and everything else, and forced me to apply to this. And I came in here. And I came in here thanks to not just a bank loan, but the pawning of my mother's jewelry. And what this institute did was to complete me. And now, as I stand up here, it's a fantastic feeling because, as Rajan mentioned, for my 4 kids, it's redemption for me. They know that I've been recognized amongst everybody else. So when I send the message back to them, it'll be fantastic. And for my wife, who's been the wind beneath my wings, the advice to youngsters, and I've heard 2 of the recipients talking about their own spouses. It's fantastic because you need the wind beneath your wings all the time. And you need a spouse who allows you to be yourself when you meet other excellers. You know the feeling. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
And now, for a short trip down memory lane to a time before cell phones and the internet, when entire neighborhoods would be glued to a single television set on Friday nights to watch the latest song and dance spectacles of Bollywood. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Chitrahar. So recreated on this stage, taking you through the romantic 60s, the delectable 70s, the discollusion of the 80s, and the alluring 90s, all the way to the item number generation. The Dramatics and Cultural Society of XLRI presents to you Chitrahar.
प्यार हुआ इकरार हुआ है प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है दिल कहता है दिल रास्ता मुश्किल मालूम नहीं है कहाँ मंजिल कहो कि अपनी प्रीत का गीत न बदलेगा कभी चमकेगा कभी प्यार हुआ इकरार हुआ है प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है
जुल्फे तेरे कंवरियों का दिल मचले, कंवरियों का दिल मचले जिंद मेरी।
जब ऐसे चिकने चेहरे हो, जब ऐसे चिकने चेहरे तो कैसे न नजर फिसले, तो कैसे न नजर फिसले जिंद मेरी। आजा आजा मैं हूँ प्यार तेरा, अल्लाह अल्लाह इनकार तेरा। ओ आजा 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 आजा। ओ तुम पे हजारों की आंखें, चाहिए तुमको सहारा। पलकों में आओ छुपा लूं, नाजुक तन है तुम्हारा। आजा 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 मैं हूँ प्यार तेरा, अल्लाह अल्लाह इनकार तेरा। जय जय शिव शंकर, कांटा लगे न कंकर। जय जय शिव शंकर, कांटा लगे न कंकर, के प्याला तेरे नाम का पिया।
गिर जाऊंगी मैं मर जाऊंगी, जो तुमने मुझे ठान लिया आसार रख दी।
जय जय शिव शंकर, कांटा लगे न कंकर, के प्याला तेरे नाम का पिया।
गिर जाऊंगी मैं मर जाऊंगी, जो तुमने मुझे ठान लिया आसार रख दी। चल गया दिन हो गई शाम, जाने दो जाना है।
अभी अभी तो आई हो, अभी अभी जाना है।
चल गया दिन हो गई शाम, जाने दो जाना है।
सितम मेरे दिल पे जो ढाए, पसम लगे उसको मेरी जो जाए। सितम मेरे दिल पे जो ढाए, पसम लगे उसको मेरी जो जाए।
ना ऐसे देखो मुझे ना टोको, जरा ये सोचो बुरा जमाना है। चल गया दिन हो गई शाम, जाने दो जाना है।
मैं जट यमला पगला दीवाना, मैं जट यमला पगला दीवाना। हो रब्बा इतनी सी बात न जाना, के ओ मैनू प्यार कर दी है, साडे उत्ते वो मर दी है। के ओ मैनू प्यार कर दी है, साडे उत्ते वो मर दी है। मैं जट यमला पगला दीवाना। हो रब्बा इतनी सी बात न जाना, के ओ मैनू प्यार कर दी है, साडे उत्ते वो मर दी है।
जुम्मा चुम्मा दे दे, महबूबा महबूबा गुलशन में गुल खिलते हैं जब सहरा में मिलते हैं, गुलशन में गुल खिलते हैं जब सहरा में मिलते हैं मैं और तू।
राहुल तो यहाँ नहीं है। अरे राहुल यहाँ पर नहीं है। 2 मिनट बाद उसकी एंट्री होने वाली है यार, कहाँ है वो? जाकर ढूंढो प्लीज। ओह गॉड, मैं अभी आया।
मुझको हुई न खबर, चोरी चोरी छुप छुप कर है। अरे मुझको हुई न खबर, चोरी चोरी छुप छुप कर, कब प्यार की पहली नजर है। ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई, अरे ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई, हे ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई, हे ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई, हे ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई।
ए, क्या बोलती तू?
क्या मैं बोलूं?
सुन,
सुना?
आती क्या खंडाला?
क्या करूं? आगे मैं खंडाला।
घूमेंगे फिरेंगे नाचेंगे गाएंगे ऐश करेंगे और क्या? ए, क्या बोलती तू?
क्या मैं बोलूं?
सुन,
सुना?
आती क्या खंडाला?
क्या करूं? आगे मैं खंडाला।
अरे घूमेंगे फिरेंगे नाचेंगे गाएंगे ऐश करेंगे और क्या?
चुरा के दिल मेरा गोरियां चली, चुरा के दिल मेरा गोरियां चली, उड़ा के निंदिया कहाँ तू चली। पागल हुआ दीवाना हुआ, पागल हुआ दीवाना हुआ, कैसी ये दिल की लगी।
हाँ, चुरा के दिल तेरा चली मैं चली, मुझे क्या पता कहाँ मैं चली। मंजिल मेरी बस तू ही तू, मंजिल मेरी बस तू ही तू, तेरी गली में चली।
जाने जाना ढूंढे तुझे दीवाना, सपनों में रोज आए आ जिंदगी में आना। जाने जाना ढूंढे तुझे दीवाना, सपनों में रोज आए आ जिंदगी में आना सनम।
जीना फिर तो है जाना, तोहफा क्या लेके जाइए दिल ये बताना। एक पल का जीना फिर तो है जाना, तोहफा क्या लेके जाइए दिल ये बताना। खाली हाथ आए थे हम खाली हाथ जाएंगे, बस प्यार के दो मीठे बोल झिलमिलाएंगे। तो हंस क्योंकि दुनिया को है हंसाना, ऐ मेरे दिल तू गाए जा।
कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना ओ कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना
ताकते रहते तुझको सांझ सवेरे नैनों में बसियां जैसे नैन ये तेरे नैनों में बसियां जैसे नैन ये तेरे तेरे मस्त मस्त दो नैन मेरे दिल का ले गए चैन मेरे दिल का ले गए चैन तेरे मस्त मस्त दो नैन तेरे मस्त मस्त दो नैन मेरे दिल का ले गए चैन मेरे दिल का ले गए चैन तेरे मस्त मस्त दो नैन पहले पहल तुझे देखा तो दिल मेरा धड़का है धड़का धड़का है जल जल उठा हूँ मैं शोला जो प्यार का भड़का है भड़का भड़का है नींदों में घुल गए हैं सपने जो तेरे बदले से लग रहे हैं अंदाज मेरे बदले से लग रहे हैं अंदाज मेरे मस्त मस्त दो नैन मेरे दिल का ले गए चैन मेरे दिल का ले गए चैन तेरे मस्त मस्त दो नैन
उड़न छू छू मैं चिड़िया फिरूंगी बलम तू देसी मौसम्बी उड़न छू छू मैं चिड़िया फिरूंगी बलम तू देसी मौसम्बी
दिल की आदतें बंदर छाप है खाली तेरी छत पे चढ़े चढ़ के उतर जाए हरदम मोड़ में लल्लन टाप है
में गिनता है एक दो तीन चार पाँच
चल धतिंग नाच धतिंग 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 नाच धतिंग 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 नाच धतिंग 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 नाच धा 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 तिंग तिंग धा तिंग तिंग धतिंग नाच
Moving on to the next category of awards. Some people dedicate decades of their life to achieve accomplishments that are truly extraordinary and widely appreciated by others. Their effort and hard work cannot be counted in hours. Over decades, they put in endless energy and time into learning from, contributing to, and eventually growing in the sector of the industry that they have been associated with. With the passage of time, they have acquired wisdom and expertise to take decisions that have not only influenced their organizations, but also championed the cause of our institute and affected the lives of many. Presenting the Distinguished Alumnus Award, category Lifetime Achievement Award. We request Father Director, Professor Serene, and Mr. Sinha to come on the stage and felicitate the recipients. The first awardee in this category is Mr. Mario Lobo from the PMIR batch of 1977 in recognition of his contribution in the human resource solutions and services sector. His HR-centered organizations include Personal Search Services, Lobo Selection Services, Lobo Staffing Services, and LipServe, and they are among the leading players in India. Launched in 1981, Personal Search Services is the first professionally run executive search firm in the country. Mr. Lobo and his team have interviewed and assessed, counseled and coached, and put in place numerous careers on track. Sun Pharma, Blue Dart, PepsiCo, Mahindra & Mahindra are among the several organizations that have gained substantially through the contributions made by Mr. Lobo and his team of consultants. Mr. Lobo has also made significant contributions to develop the Mumbai chapter of the XLRI Alumni Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Mario Lobo. request you to share a few words with the audience, please.
Thank you, XLRI, for this award. You know, I always wanted to be a businessman. I got into this profession by accident. I think when I was 15, 16, I set up a poultry farm of 1,000 birds, and I had great success. But of course, we had to move on. I did my graduation. My father said, no, you've got to go ahead and study. You know, and obviously, I also intended that. But after I worked for a few years, having tasted success, I said, I must get into business. But those days, they were, you know, tough days, you know. There was no capital, there was a lot of initiative, a lot of drive. And I was trying to evaluate, you know, what are the various opportunities where the capital was low, but there was a lot of initiative and drive that I could put in place. And having worked in a company called Foseco, I realized that this was an area where there was a big opportunity because most of the firms were really not doing justice to this. So we went and set up the first executive search firm. And I think, you know, it was quite a journey. I mean, maybe in those initial years, you know, thank God I didn't realize the difficulties that existed because it took 17 years to own a phone. I mean, can you all guys imagine that? If you posted a letter, it took 3 days. I mean, that was by courier. And those were the tough days, you know. And I said, thank God I didn't realize those difficulties because it just made me persist. We managed to get a phone. We managed to do things like that. And the journey went on. So, you know, the decision to get into business, I think, was an important one. Excel, of course, has been a very, very important 2 years of my life. I mean, there were people like Father McGrath, whom I consider, of course, a living saint, a person who made a big difference to, you know, setting me on the path, you know, in terms of the values and the thinking, and of course, made me, like somebody mentioned, made me do things. You know, he didn't tell, but he, you know, the experience, he sort of got us to do things and sort of show initiative, which I think helped me tremendously. The other person, of course, is Father Prabhu. He's no longer there, but he again made a big, big difference to my life. And of course, I once again thank all of you all on this occasion. You know, surprisingly, what I'm finding while I've got the Lifetime Achievement Award, I'm finding now that I'm able to spend longer hours and probably with the experience and the insight and the perspectives, you know, I'm able to add a lot more value. So in many ways, I believe this is a new beginning for me. Thank you.
Our next awardee is Mr. David DeCosta, BMD 1976. In recognition of his contribution to the pharmaceutical industry, preventive medicine, and healthcare. He has worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 16 years, beginning his career as a medical representative and attaining the post of general manager in various MNCs, including Boehringer, J&J, Astra, and Ledol. He ventured out of pharmaceuticals into preventive medicine and healthcare in 1991. He established his own firm, Pure Water House, which specializes in drinking water purification in Bengaluru. Now into its 23rd year, Pure Water House is the lead distributor for Kent, Alpha, Blue Star, and 3M, and has recently launched its own brand, Aquasoft and Hierco. PWH also demonstrates roof rainwater capture and purification to drinking water standards in its office. Mr. DeCosta also virtually single-handedly built up the Bangalore chapter of XLRI's National Alumni Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Mr. David DeCosta. Sir, we request you to share a few words with the audience.
Thank you, jury. Everyone's thanked Father Tom, Father Prabhu, their parents. I've got one more to add to that list. The selection committee that goes around each year recruiting new students to XLRI. And I'll tell you why. I am the 9th of 10 kids. 6 of my elder brothers and sisters moved to Canada. So we got used to loss in terms of loved ones early in life. Come into XLRI and you make some of the finest friends possible. Some of them get married to wives you don't particularly wish to relate to. Many of them move to different towns, so you lose them. Some of them go abroad. More loss. How do you carry on? You've got to find new friends. What's the best way to find new friends? XLRI has done it for you. They've shortlisted the best. They've passed out of XLRI. They've got the same values. They've got the same zest for life. That's XLRI. XLRI also gives you love and values. Coincides with what my parents gave me. And I've tried to give it back.
Thank you, sir. The next recipient of this award is Mr. Bhushan Raina from the BME batch of 1973. In recognition of his contribution as a successful business leader in various capacities across the Tata Group, he has worked with Tata Steel and its associate companies in a career that has spanned over 4 decades. He is a passionate advocate of corporate sustainability and quality management. He served as the managing director of Tinplate Company of India Limited from 1997 to 2009, a period when the company was on a downward slope. Mr. Bhushan Raina played a significant role in the turnaround of the loss-making company into a market leader for tinplate products in India and West and Southeast Asia. Mr. Raina has served on the board of several companies and is also a visiting faculty at XLRI and XIMB. In his role as Director, International Trade for Tata Steel, he was credited with establishing its international steel trading business in Europe, Asia, and the United States. He has held important positions in CII, Board of the Tinplate Company of India, Indian Institute of Packaging, and has also served as the National President of the XLRI Alumni Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Bhushan Raina. Sir, we request you to share a few words with the audience, please. Thank you, sir.
A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since I received mail from Father E. Abraham, informing me of the, that I am being recognized for Lifetime Achievement Award, I started looking back, going back in time, 40 and odd years with Tatas, and maybe another 20 years, quite active involvement in one or the other form at Excel. All I would tell Father Abraham and the members of jury, I think the idea was to, see whether he justifiably was deserving of this honor and huge recognition. All I would like to tell Father Abraham and members of jury that they are entitled to make mistake once in a while. I have been a lucky general. I have been surrounded by very able assistants throughout my career. And at least one of them is here, standing on the dais in front of me. I would like to therefore dedicate this award to all of them for their unstinted support and cooperation throughout my career. I also would like to thank, and I would say my salutations to Father Abraham and our other members of the faculty for helping me in transiting, from an active executive life to, interacting with bright and young students of Excel, so that I don't get, intellectually rusted very fast. Thank you very much. And just in passing, I would ask of the students of XLRI to please ponder over these seemingly innocuous words, the bylines below the logo: excellence, integrity, for the greater good, and try and have some indelible mind space, as they leave the portals of the institute, because that's going to stand them in good stead in ascending, in their careers. Thank you again. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you so much.